Okay. Now, I'm going to point out why everybody's wrong, especially photography channels. There have been a lot of talk recently on various photography channels about professional photography jobs. Yeah. What does the word professional mean? It means it makes you're making the lion's portion of your income off of photography, which means that you could be a headshot photographer, a Sears photographer. You know what the word freelance means? It means you're an advanced amateur shooter that does work for free, and you hope you're going to get paid. What is it? Sports Illustrated recently switched to no more paid photographers. There's so many people that want their name in the magazine. They're advanced amateur shooters. That of course, magazines are dead. That's probably also half the reason. I mean, magazines are dead. Dead. You know what? When's the last time you bought a friggin' magazine? Huh? So, their income obviously is shrinking, but they're not paying anybody anymore. What? Sports Illustrated? I'm sure they're paying somebody in their swimsuit edition. They've actually got real professionals on their swimsuit edition. Those are always hardcore working pros. How much they get paid, I have no idea. Those people don't need their name out there. Their name is already out there, so I'm sure those guys are being paid. People trying to do photography that is glamorous. Saturation photography. What's saturation photography? It has nothing to do with exposure. That's something different. Saturation photography, like fashion photography. Yeah, well, not wedding photography. But fashion photography. Glamour photography. There is nobody's paying you. It's like, hey, go take a picture of that hot chick over there for a few hours. You know, stick her in a thong and throw some sand on her mammary glands, and take picture. Oh, I'll do that for free. Oh yeah, I know you will. Yeah, we don't pay anybody for that shit. You know, why do people do that? So some of these people have been talking about professional photography. Professional photography is meaningless shit. A Sears photographer is technically a professional photographer. It doesn't mean anything. You have to be if you're going to make a living at it, you have to, and you can make a decent living as a mere professional photographer. Headshots just roll around like a school bus driver. You know, a school bus driver is technically a professional driver. They have to have a certain license. They just drive around stupid rugrats. I know a couple commercial pilots. One of them had a horrible skydiving accident. Can't see out of his eye anymore, so that ended his career. Horrible story. They thought it would be a glamorous job. Turns out they're just school bus drivers. Very advanced, horrible. Pay's not great. It's monotonous. It's grueling. It's horrible. They hate it. But they're professional commercial airline pilots. No money in that either. You can scrape by. You have to transcend what everybody else is doing. And the only way you can transcend it by going where people fear to go. Do you know one of the some of the best paying jobs are not really hard jobs, like a professional plumber. You gotta sometimes you're gonna get shit on your hands, you're gonna be snaking that you're in someone else's toilet. The pay is good. I mean, it's not a glamorous job. I mean, that's what people don't want to do. They don't know how to do it, and they don't want to do it. But it's a really awesome paying job. I mean, you'll have job security out the ass. So what are those things in photography? Well, you could say, well, a shit job like that'd be like wedding photographer. That's true, but that's just a working professional. You need to find the niches within photography that are unsaturated where people don't want to go. That's product photography, corporate photography, commercial photography. And the reason that you want to go there is for several reasons, actually. The pay is really good, the clients generally don't bitch, it's easy, fast work, and it is a sector where people don't want to go because it requires skills in lighting. Nothing scares advanced amateur photographers or photographers in general more than lighting ratios, whipping out a light meter, using gobos, reflectors, scrims, diffusers, and there's a lot of training and thought that goes into seeing the light and learning where to place, your secondary and tertiary light sources to get the effect that you want, using gobos and placing them correctly and being able to see where the light is going to fall. But that is the place where nobody goes. And if you go there, you won't be a professional photographer anymore. You'll be an expert photographer in some certain category or categories. You have to go where there is no or very, very low saturation. So I'm not the one like the rest of these people out there that are making videos like, oh my god, professional photography's dying because now everybody has a Nikon D5. Yeah, they do, but they don't have a speed light, and they don't know how to use a speed light. And they sure as hell don't know how to use a light meter or a studio strobe. There is a lot of money in photography. Just like plumbers. It's like, if you have any skills at plumbing and you have a snake, you could print up $5 of business cards. Someone could burn your house to the ground. You could lose every penny you got. But if you have a snake in the back of your van and 10 brain cells on how to do plumbing, you could print up a pack of business cards for $5, and you'll be right back in the money, hardcore money. And it won't be awesome labor, but you'll be right back in the money easily. So I deny the fact that photography is a dying career because, oh, well, everybody has their professional cameras. The gear has gotten so much better now, it's just so easy. You just turn your fucking brain off and hold up that expensive camera and that shit just rolls out onto your SD card. And that's a fucking lie. It's a lie. You have to go where the other people fear. I know fashion photography and hot, sexy, naked chicks is very appealing. There's no money there. There is no money there. People are willing to do that for free all day long. You take the path of least resistance. But to take the path of least resistance in photography requires that you to take a path of initial resistance. And that is if you don't have the skills on lighting and composition. Composition is obviously much bigger. You never perfect compositional skills. I mean, you always strive to do better, but they never get perfected. But you can greatly perfect your lighting skills. And in not that much time. And if you do that, man, you'll have so much work. The only thing you'll be bitching about is the fact that you've got so much work. I know photographers like that contact me, that I keep in contact with, and they're constantly bitching, but not bitching that they don't have money, but it's just the jobs are endless. There's endless work for them. So you could say that professional photography is on a downcline, but I'm not interested in professional photography. I'm interested in expert photography. Professional is just a working dumbass. It's like, oh, you can't say that. He's a working wedding photographer. Yeah, so what? He might have some skills, but if you master lighting, then you'll just back right over the skulls of all the rest of the photographers out there. You'll have all the work you could ever want. Not only that, as soon as your name gets out there, you can charge a lot more money and people will still pay it. And that's the truth. Every expert photographer out there will tell you that. It's like, I got more work than I can handle. I'm passing work off to my buddies left and right. It's like, you're turning work down, high-paying work. It's like, yeah, I've got enough already, I don't even have time to take a piss. I got tons of high-paying jobs. And that's the way real expert photography is. And that's knowing about lighting and gobos and scrims and diffusers, grids, where to place them, how to use them, how to use a light meter, how to calculate out lighting ratios, being able to see what the shot looks like. Once you visualize it in your head, if you know how all the shit goes and how it works, all you have to do is construct it like Legos. When a child builds a little castle or whatever the hell he builds out of Legos, the first thing he thinks of is, I want to build a so-and-so. And then he assembles it. If a child can do that, then you could do that in photography. All you have to know is, what the fuck does a diffuser do? What the fuck does an octobox do? What the shit does a grid do? What does a softbox do? What does a background scoop do? What does a parabolic reflector do? What are lighting ratios? Okay, primary light, hair light, background light. Okay, high-speed sync, expose for my backgrounds and raise my illumination up for my subject so they have correct. If you know all that stuff, then all you have to do is build in these compositional images in your brain and then just put the Legos together, boom, 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 take the shots. Everything starts and ends right here, you know. First you have to know how the gear works. You have to have a vision in your head of like, wow, you know, if I put her over here and if I lit the back like this, or if I underexposed this or did that, or you have to visualize that in your head. And then you won't be a professional photographer. You won't have to worry about, you know, all the rack and rabble. Because professional photography is LCD. That's lowest common denominator. You kind of know how you walk into a Walmart store and there's nothing but a bunch of, you know, missing teeth, Billy Bob, you know, that probably had intercourse with their sister sort of people. Like, yeah, welcome to Walmart. Home of the... It's like walking into the 10th level of hell, isn't it? And the people you see walking around Walmart. You ever been to the website called People of Walmart? You'd be like, you know, these 400-pound chicks with a thong up their butt, and, you know, oh my God, just like weird, damn, I mean, weird. Like, far weirder than me, even. Way weird. That's professional photography. You go into an expensive grocery store, you know, you see, you know, classical music's playing, everything is lovely. You have to transcend to that level. And if you can't take the time, 2 hours in the evening, 3 times a week, to raise your skill levels up so that you're not a professional photographer anymore, but you're an expert photographer, you know, you got nothing to bitch about. You are your own worst enemy. So I deny these BS videos that have been made recently by various other people talking about the decline of professional. Nobody gives a shit. You know, you shouldn't give a crap about professional photography unless you want like a mundane crap. You want Walmart photography, you're gonna get Walmart photography. If you want like fancy rich grocery store photography, you know, it's enjoyable, it's pleasurable, it pays really well, the stress is really... You know what it's like to wait in a Walmart line with crying babies and, you know, some guy that smells like he's been bathing in a bucket of walrus crap or something. You know what I'm talking about? You've been there before, haven't you? You can choose to stay in one, or you can transcend it to the other. So you shouldn't care about professional photography unless that's what you want to do. You know, it's either a hobby for you or it's a job. Because if it's a job, you're just a professional photographer. Wasn't that good enough? No, it isn't, because you could do a lot better just by expanding your skill sets. And once you do that, then you transcend all these other assholes that are afraid of lighting. They don't know how to use lighting. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know how it works. They don't know how to layer it. They don't know what to expose for, and they have no way of seeing something in their head. I mean, I see images in my head, and when I see the image in my head, it's like, well, to make that image, I need to put this light here and this light here, and that's the way real expert photography works. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da, da-dum, bum. Ba-da-da-dum, bum.